This is a hunt that will make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. I don't think there's a more exciting hunt for sure. I think it's more of a one-on-one challenge. You know, it's you versus the animal that you're pursuing. These bulls are basically granted permission to mate for a 2-3 week period out of the whole year. If that was the case for us, we wouldn't sleep either.
Live on the edge, 'cause brother, win or lose, it's all in what you do with the chance you're given. Yeah, through the wind and rain, you feel your heart pounding. You got one shot, what you got? Tell me what's it gonna be? You gotta make the most of this opportunity. If others fail, make sure you succeed. On the edge.
The Edge is brought to you by Browning, Vortex, Cabela's, Hornady, Jimbo's and Black Gold, Stealth Cam, Walker's Game Ear, Outdoor Edge, High Mountain Seasonings, Plano, Tenzing, Gold Tip Arrows, Driving Force, Prime Bows, G5 Broadheads, Grizz Targets, Hawk Tree Stands, Rifle Caddy, and Tree Stand Buddy.
You know, I'm super revved up to do this elk hunt. Been waiting, you know, all summer. Of course, we had the spring bear hunt, and then it just seems like forever for the fall to get here. So pretty excited to get out to Big Valley and start chasing these elk around again. Right out of the gates, you know, September 1st for us in the central part of Alberta, it's bow season only. So we'll be chasing around these bugling elk with our bows. Setting up camp for this style of a hunt really consists of just making sure you have the right gear. I mean, we're not on horseback in here. We didn't have to backpack our gear in. Truck's basically parked beside base camp. So we get to be a little lavish, and it makes it very comfortable and it makes it very enjoyable. There we go. Bow hunting, it's a chance to really connect. I think it's more of a one-on-one challenge. You know, it's you versus the animal that you're pursuing. It's just, I think, a part of me, you know. It can definitely be frustrating sometimes, especially for a guy like myself who's completely addicted to accuracy, and but yet not always that accurate. I mean, I'm constantly tinkering around with my stuff and equipment and arrows and broadheads and tuning of the bow, and it's one of those things for me, a deeper connection to actually what I'm doing. This is a hunt that will make the hair on the back of your neck stand up if the right opportunity presents itself. I don't think there's a more exciting hunt for sure. You know, I'm a big believer in respecting our sport and ultimately respecting the animals that we're trying to harvest. And you owe it to that animal, so put your time in and do it right. Don't half-ass it. So what we're doing tonight, it's the eve before the opener, and I really want to focus tonight on just taking a really solid look at this south end of the ranch. It's going to be key to our success to be in the right place at the right time on this hunt. One of the major factors is weather. You know, it's been super dry, it's super hot, it's 30 degrees, you know. Our elk activity is going to be early morning, maybe the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes if we're lucky. And the last 20 minutes, you know, kind of right before dark. Revved up, man. Excited. Elk season 2017. Okay, we just found some elk. So we have a young 5-point bull, and he's doing his best to chase a few cows around. But I have yet to hear any bugles or any cow calls, so really, in order to be successful this week on an elk hunt, they're gonna have to light up. We're gonna have to hear them. Because ultimately we need to call one in. Bull elk. First night, opening morning tomorrow. No Viagra required for this one. I mean, just revved up. Seeing those elk tonight come out to a feeding area gives me some great hope, because even if we're not able to call one in, if we sit back from a distance and kind of be patient with these things, we'll probably be able to figure them out and get them coming to from bedding into a feeding area and maybe set up an ambush. So with any luck, we're going to drive the striker right through the chest of one here in a few days. So jacked up and just ready to get after it.
This segment brought to you by Jimbo's Archery and Black Gold.
I think the biggest challenge in elk hunting is all about timing. In order to call in a bull elk or locate a bull elk, he's got to be talking. Typically that's the middle of September for us out here in Alberta, and I'm just hoping it starts a little bit earlier for us, because we're here right at the start. The rut is such a phenomenal mystery if you really think about it, because these bulls are basically granted permission to mate for 2-3 week period out of the whole year. Every guy at home watching can attest to this. If that was the case for us, we wouldn't sleep either. It's morning one. We've only came about a mile, and we got our first big bull, and he's a good one, 6x6. But he's all by himself, and that kind of sucks. Good bull, super narrow, but good bull. Fantastic morning, pretty jacked up. Found a fantastic bull, beautiful 6x6. I think I'm gonna nickname him Slim the Elk. Great tine length, good mass, just narrow. So Slim the Elk it is, I think. But yeah, I couldn't be happier this morning. We could have pursued maybe, but when I checked the wind was just completely terrible. Sat back, and we'll see if patience pays off. The elk have a plethora of defense mechanisms, if you will. They have great eyesight. They can hear phenomenally. They're fast movers, yet they're quiet on their feet. To combat some of those things, we'll put out cover scents, like you see me spraying around some elk and heat, some cow urine, something like that basically covers up the human scent. Technology today allows us an opportunity to have personal ozone generation devices. The Enforcer that we use here on the edge, it's a great little device, relatively inexpensive, and it goes everywhere. There's technology out there that allows us to be a little bit more stealthy and get in tighter on these animals, and I'm all for using anything that closes the distance for me. Well, that's a wrap on day one of the season this morning. A lot more eventful than tonight. So I think we're just gonna get back to the tent, have a meal, a well-deserved sleep after all the walk today, and get back after it in the morning. So how are we going to locate the bull? Is we're going to get into what we think is a great area, and really we're going to just start listening. As the sun just starts to peak up, I hear an elk bugle. And I kind of know what direction it was. One short bugle and that was it. And we busted up there and I come over this knoll and here's this bull and he's 115 yards out. I thought at 115 yards, this is it. We're gonna get our opportunity. And I snuck into position and I was just getting ready to call and I noticed my cameraman, a great big dead limb, kind of caught his pack and it made quite a racket and that bull was just instantly gone. There's a big part of me that wants to go after him. But there's a big part of me that says common sense says, don't waste your time, he's gone. Tough gig right now. We did hear him bugle once this morning, but that's it. I haven't heard a cow. Nothing. But we got 6 days, so 6 days to get this done. It seems like it's a ghost town out here. I mean, nothing's talking. We're seeing the odd elk. But I'd passed 1 or 2 a day. Just gonna keep pounding away here. Got another couple days left, so we're gonna have to luck into one for sure.
The Edge is brought to you by Rifle Caddy.
I got a lot of things stacked up against me here. I mean, they're not calling. It's early. It's super hot. I'm gonna have to pull one out of my you-know-what on this deal because if I go home without an elk, I won't hear the end of it until November. Well, after the morning hunt on day 2, I really felt the need to get some cameras out. As suspected, these elk aren't talking. They're not calling a lot right now. We're probably a week away from that at best. And we're trying to do our best to determine patterns of these elk. Where are they sleeping? Where are they feeding? And what travel corridors are they using to get in between those two? And that's where the stealth cams come in. We were able to put out a few and actually got lucky. We checked trail camera in one spot and had a really nice 6x6 on it. Going elk hunting right out of the gates here September 1st, basically for us, it is so hot that the activity with the elk is first thing in the morning and then the last thing in the evening. So you have a lot of time during the day and you'd think that you'd probably go crazy and lose your mind or have all kinds of time to sit down and maybe read a book. But it's really not the case. I mean, I get back to camp, you cook, you might have a quick little siesta, but then I'm up and I'm shooting my bow and I'm making sure that everything with it is fine as well as everything with myself. It's a huge responsibility, whether you're bow hunting or rifle hunting, to the hunter because you're actually out here trying to take a life. And I don't take that very lightly, it's super important. So I want to make sure that our kills are as clean and as ethical as possible. And then I want to pay tribute to that animal in the best way I can. And that starts with being proficient, with the weapon in your hand. There's not really much about bow hunting that I don't like. It can sometimes be very frustrating. It's just a lot of work. But if it was easier, would it make it any better? I don't think so. Because, it's the same old analogy, what you put in, you get out. And it's quite a feeling of accomplishment when you're successful, when it all comes together. nice little spot, really. But it's our second last night of the hunt. We've seen a bull here at least twice in this kind of general vicinity. So we sprayed out some scent, made this blind. Cameraman and I are both comfortable and hidden. It's a beat down path right here, going into a barley field. So, big bush where we think they're sleeping, barley behind us, and a south wind. So, at this point, I literally have my fingers crossed. When you're hunting and that animal appears, and it's the animal that's on your hit list, if you will, there's definitely a level of excitement that pours over the old bones and kind of gets I call it the hot blood. It'll warm me up when it's freezing cold. It'll calm me down when I'm excited. And I look forward to each and every time that happens to me. A really cool night. We've had 5 or 6 cows come out, but our target bull is up on the hill about 250 yards. And no matter what I do, he will not budge. He is not coming down here. I'm pretty sure he's scared of me, but he's gorgeous. Got lots of ivory on his tips. Just a beautiful bull. But we're running out of daylight, and I don't think he's gonna make it down here in time.
This segment brought to you by Stealth Cam.
After a close encounter the night before, I'm pretty optimistic going into the final day of the hunt. Sadly, that had to be cut short to help out some local ranchers in a terrible situation. The rancher that we're hunting at here has a field that's on fire. Well, we're not sure how extensive just yet, but there is a fire. And we're off to try to help put it out. Got a bunch of shovels in the back of the truck and a crew of people that doesn't want it to spread anymore, but it's been super dry this year, and this is every rancher's biggest fear is, you know, something catching on fire. They're out combining right now, so it's a bit of a panic, and we're just gonna go and see what it's all about. Try to lend a hand if we can. Things have been so dry this summer that it's been a huge risk for fire, and here it is happening right here. Right next to the ranch that we're hunting, and damn near this whole quarter section's on fire right now. Alright, well here we are, fire crews are here now, big crews, not just a bunch of guys with shovels. But again, worst nightmare for the farmers and ranchers out in this neck of the woods. It's been super dry, as I mentioned, this summer, but it's combine season. I mean, it's harvest season, so the guys are out working in the fields, and looks like on this one, a combine heated up, sparked the field. Next thing you know, within minutes, quarter section's burnt up. It's amazing how fast the response teams actually get here, you know. So big shout out to the guys in Stettler and Big Valley, Fire and Rescue, and then just the local community. I mean, there's probably 40 people here from different ranches, all fighting it with whatever they had, shovels and buckets of water. And it's one of those things, man. I mean, just conditions here are just crazy for fire. Super dry, super windy. Yeah, scary and very unfortunate. Unfortunately, we weren't able to harvest an elk on this hunt, but it was a pretty easy decision to step away from it all in order to help out the local landowners and the ranchers in this community. As a hunter, we have to fight to conserve the land that we are fortunate enough to use and the people that allow us to use it. So in that way, this was a successful hunt.
The Edge is brought to you by Browning, Vortex, Cabela's, Hornady, Jimbo's and Black Gold, Stealth Cam, Walker's Game Ear, Outdoor Edge, High Mountain Seasonings, Plano, Tenzing, Gold Tip Arrows, Driving Force, Prime Bows, G5 Broadheads, Grizz Targets, Hawk Tree Stands, Rifle Caddy, and Tree Stand Buddy.
Pretty revved up. I mean, 2017 season, couldn't be more excited. I think that I lead a blessed life to do what I do. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of The Edge.